Welcome to the podcast with a purpose, with information and content meant to motivate, aspire, and inspire you. From romance author and host Charmyra E. Fleming, but you can call her M.A.I. Welcome to an experience. This is the Purple Charm Experience. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Purple Charm Experience, where I am your host, Charmyra E. Fleming, but you can call me M.A.I. Today is going to be a wonderful episode for you. I'm so excited. When this episode will air, over the weekend, the previous weekend, it was just announced by Baltimore Sun that I was voted Best Author for 2023. And I am supercharged this week, super excited about it. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit later in the episode. But today, we want to kick things off with something positive. You all know I love to start the episode with my quote of the day. It's a way to kick everything off with a little bit of motivation, something aspirational and inspirational for all of us to take with us throughout the rest of the day, if not the week, until we come meet again. So today, I have a great quote for you. So without further delay, here's our quote of the day. It's all a process, steps along a path. Becoming requires equal parts patience and rigor. Becoming is never given up on the idea that there's more growing to be done, by Michelle Obama. I chose this quote because personally, you know, with me learning that I was voted Best Author, you know, it just reminds me that the work that I am doing and have done is being recognized by the people that I want and need support from, and that they see me and that they recognize that the work that I'm doing is valuable and they believe in it too. And so, and then it also reminds me that the work isn't done, that it doesn't stop here, that this is only the start, and that the work becomes more intense, more intentional, and more focused now that this has, you know, come into my life, now that this opportunity to be recognized at this level has come into my life. I don't take this for granted. It's not a small feat to have the support of the Baltimore community, their readership. I am in awe of this because, you know, all I ever wanted to do was to write stories that I would want to read, number one, and to have at least just one person just to say, hey, I read your stuff, I read your books, or I read your blog, or I read something by you, and I love it. It inspired me to do this with my life, or it motivated me to go after this for myself. And I feel like we're all in this together. Like, if there's things that my readers are doing that they need my support from, I'm willing to do it. And I'm willing to use my platform in such a way that's positive, that gives back to the people that have given to me their support. And so this means the world to me. And so this quote spoke to me for this week. And I'm hoping that it speaks to you. And if there's anything that, you know, that you're working on and that you're aspiring to, I pray and hope that this quote is something that, you know, leads you in the right direction, or at least remind you that all the steps that you're taking on this path is part of the process. Trust it, believe it, hold on to it, have faith in it, because I'm telling you, when you believe and you have a tribe and a community of people behind you that truly believe in what you're doing, you will move mountains. Great things will happen in your life. I'm telling you, trust and believe that. I don't care if who you believe in, what higher source, Allah, God, the universe, whatever it is, have faith that the work that you're putting in and the work that you're putting forth has value, and that someone believes in that value and believes in what you're doing and will support you as you go through your process. So I leave you with that this week. Hopefully it adds some value and uplift your life this week as it did for me. So that is our quote for the week. Now let's get right into our sip of the week, my sip of the week. As you all know, if you listen to the podcast, on a regular basis, I'm WSET level 1 certified. I love trying different types of sips, different types of wine, cocktails, spirits, that kind of thing. And I found a very, very interesting beer that I would love to share with you all this week. Now, as we move into this portion of the podcast, go ahead and grab your sip, whether it is water, tea, coffee. If it's 5 o'clock somewhere, grab your wine, your spirit, or your cocktail. It's the summertime. Hey, no judgment zone. I want you to sip along with me for the rest of the podcast. So this is where we get it in right here. And so this week for you, I have a very, very interesting ale. My husband found this particular sip, and he knows how much, being from the South, that we both love Cheerwine. If you're from North Carolina, particularly the Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point, Charlotte, Raleigh-Durham area, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure the entire state of North Carolina probably has it, but specifically where I'm from, it is a staple. It is our drink of choice when you go to the Carolinas. And so Cheerwine has been something that I grew up with since I was a little kid. And now that I live away from home, it is one of the drinks that before it started to branch out in certain places, and we've been able to get it from time to time, like in Virginia. Just depends on the business if they carry it. But we've oftentimes, especially when we lived in Boston, oftentimes had to get it shipped to us, or we'll bring it back with us when we would travel home. And so I was very, very excited when he found this particular beer called Cheerwine Ale. And it is a very cool Cheerwine Ale. I don't know if you can see it because it's like blurring out. Let me turn my little screen blur off so that you can see it. Yeah, I think it's just the coolest thing. Let me just turn it off for a second so you can see. Yeah. See? Cool beans, a cute little truck on the front. And so we've been on vacation this past week, much needed for me. And so he brought this particular beer, and I just was, for me, I don't particularly like beers that are very hoppy or have like that bite. I usually like the lighter beers, and kind of like I guess one of the ones that I could say that is more or less one of my favorites that will be in the realm of beers that I would drink would be like a Blue Moon, because I like the citrusy flavor, but it's not too intense. It doesn't feel heavy. And so I decided, this will be a fun one to drink today as we go through the rest of the podcast. And it has a beautiful, beautiful summer color, beautiful ale. And I'm just digging it. I think it's beautiful. Let me turn this off again so you can take a look. I put a little ice in mine because it was warm, so don't hate on me, please. Don't. I would never do that with my wine, but I'm doing it with this. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful color, and smells just like Cheerwine. It has, now I've tried this before coming today. I will, be honest there. I did have a chance to taste this before today, and I love it because it has like a nice cherry undertone to it as you on that initial sip. So if you had Cheerwines, that quenching first sip of Cheerwine, it has that. And then you get the ale. I mean, some of the wheat flavors and the berry notes as you continue to sip through it. But like I said, I think it's for me, it's a really cool take on beer. The companies that they're made by are out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Is a Noda Brewing Company out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And I just think it's a really cool take on the Southern classic. And it says that even on the can it states that it was brewed by two family-owned companies in the Carolinas. So I think that's cool. And being a Southern girl from North Carolina, I'm happy to sit today to a down home fave, soon to be one of my favorite beers. So cheers. All right. So now that we have my sip of the week, let's get into this week's Ask the Author topics. So I wanted to talk about the Baltimore Sun being honored. I think, where do I start? As an author, it's not that I never thought I would get to this point. It's more or less, how long and what do I have to do to start making the impact that I wanted to make? I will say, if you're a new author or you're just someone, if you're getting started, I say one of the best things I ever did is really start to make connections with people, attending as many local events and getting myself out there and meeting people. That's truly, truly helped me and my brand grow over the last 5 years. I've connected with some amazing and incredible people. Shout out to my big brother and friend, 4-time Baltimore Sun best podcaster, Mr. Aaron Dante of No Pits After Dark podcast. He is amazing. And it's people like him that have been in my orbit that has helped me grow as a person pursuing my dream as a writer and as an author. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much to all of you who took time out of your schedules each and every day while the contest was ongoing to take the time to vote for me. I know that you did not have to do that. And voting was every day for like 2 weeks. And people took time to really, really show their support. And I appreciate that. I don't know what I would do without the support of my tribe. This is the reason why I wear my tribe shirts, because my tribe is what motivates me. It keeps me aspiring to reach for my dreams and my goals, and inspires me to want to inspire the next person to do the same. Like, I can't say it enough. I'll say it every time I get on these airways, how much M.A.I means to me. Motivate, aspire, inspire means to me. Because I've done a lot of things in life in terms of my work. Each and every day, I put in a lot of work and what I do. But this is the work that means the most to me. This is the work that gives me purpose, gives me purpose, and it gives me a reason to get up every morning and go hard in the paint for what I love, what I'm passionate about. It's one thing to say that you love to write. It's another thing to really pursue it and really go after it, and constantly working at it. I'm constantly trying to work at this and figure out new ways to bring good content to the masses, and being honest and true to it, because you deserve it. You, my readers, deserve the best of my writing skills, my writing ability. And if I can't give 110+% or 100+% of my time and effort, there is no reason for me to be out here touting that I want to be an author, that I want to be a writer, or even trying to do this. I don't phone it in. You would never catch me using AI to write my books because I want to pump out more work, more books. If it takes me a year or more to write my books, just know that the finished product that you get will be worth that wait, because I'm putting my time and effort into it, because I want to give you the best of me when I do it. Trust and believe that. Trust and believe that, because I will never phone it in for you guys. Never, because you deserve that. You deserve more from me, And so, one of the things that I wanted to also talk about was, last week I had a question that asked, do you think this is a credible way to go about your career as an author? And I said, yes. I still believe that, because, I worked very hard to get here. I worked very hard meeting and connecting with people. It wasn't because I bought my way into it. It wasn't because some celebrity spoke on my behalf or anything like that. It wasn't because some big publishing house put money behind what I was doing. No, I organically built the following that I have, and I try to connect with each and every person in some kind of way, some kind of capacity when I can. I am very approachable. I welcome, my readers to reach out and, let me know what they want. And I try to give it to them. And I'm just so thankful and so grateful for these opportunities to be able to share in this way, because it's not easy doing it on your own. It's not easy having to rely on your own, your own funds. You have to, raise your own money to make this stuff work. And it's not always easy. Sometimes, you don't get positive feedback. Sometimes the criticism is hurtful. I've been turned down a number of times. I've been told, I've tried to write for some of the major publishing companies, and was told that that they wanted me to write a certain way. I didn't want to write the way that they wanted me to write. I wanted to write the way I wanted my characters to be. Or like if you are telling me that you want more stories by underserved populations such as the African American community, you can't dictate how the story comes to you. Like, be willing to take a risk to share a story that you may or may not particularly think that your readers will be into. They may surprise you. Your readers are smart enough to make the decision on whether or not they want to read that particular type of book or not. Clearly, my readers are telling me that they love what I write. And so that's why I don't put much stock into listening to outside sources per se, very much like those big companies. I've paid for some of these big companies to tell me where they think my writing may or may not be lacking. But then they give me a tough review, which is great. I appreciate it. It makes me come back and write better. But when my readers read what I've written, they love it. And I have to go with what the readers love. I just do, because they know what they love to read. They know what they want to read. So yeah, this time has been amazing. This last 6 months, I've been working, guys. I've been working. This is one of the reasons why I always talk about having a mind mindset, motivate, inspire mindset. I actually wrote a ebook. If you guys, I will put the link to it in the the write up for this episode, so that you can read. Have me as your guide to help you with building that mindset framework, and to help you go after your passions and your dreams. Keep you focused. Also, one of the things that I will add to this week's page for this write up, I also did an article recently with Bold Journey online magazine, and they interviewed me for a feature article. That was what I was talking about in the first week. And it's just been an honor to get these opportunities to showcase myself and my work, and my skills outside of some of the things that I do as my traditional or day work. This is the work that I do, that I enjoy, that allows me to remain creative. And so I will share that article with you as well. If I had to do it all again in this way, I definitely would continue. I would do it all over again. I wouldn't change a thing, because everything that I've done has been purposeful, intentional steps to where I am today. And I know that there are more steps that will get me to where I'm going tomorrow. And I'm just so thankful and happy that I'm on my way. I am on my way. This is the first major achievement and accomplishment for my writing that allows me to validate and confirm that I am the best. So with all that said, I just want to say thank you again. It is a truly an honor to be your best author for this year's Baltimore Sun's Best 2023 Readers Choice Honoree. Yay! All right. So before we wrap up today, I just wanted to end it with a little Prince history. You all know I love Prince, and I always love to share a little bit of history about his music, about his musicianship. He is one of my favorite musicians of all time. He's an icon, a legend, and although he's no longer with us and in the physical, he is now one of the ancestors, and so I would love to try to make sure that I keep his memory legacy alive. So today's history is about the song Delirious from the 1999 album. It was released in 1982. I was literally 2 years old when that album came out. And it is one of those songs that's like really upbeat and fun. But I always thought that it had like this old school kind of the feel to it. And the interesting thing was, while I was away on vacation this past week, the movie Delirious came on because one of the channels that I was watching was doing like a John Candy tribute week, and it was playing all John Candy movies, and one of the movies was Delirious. Now, I don't think I ever really watched Delirious, and if I had, it was always bits and pieces of it back in the day, never from the beginning. But ironically enough, the first full opening credits into the first sequence of scenes in this movie is the song Delirious. Like they literally play the whole song Delirious in the opening credits. And I was like, God, like, I had no idea. I was just really shocked to hear like his music in this song, in this movie, because number one, he never really allowed his music to be played in anything. And the only few things I ever really seen his music in movies was like Girl 6, Purple Rain, of course, Under the Cherry Moon. I remember the scene in Pretty Woman when Julia Roberts was singing his song Kiss in the tub. But very few movies that I realized that he had his music in, particularly his earlier stuff. And so I was really surprised and delighted when I saw or heard Delirious in the movie Delirious and the 1991 movie Delirious. And so I decided to do a little look up and see, if there was anything to be said about the song. Now, in one of the articles that I read, it said that Des Dickerson was doing an interview with a magazine, and he talked about how at that time Prince had like this obsession with 1950s like music and like this bluesy sound. Is I guess this was considered a blues number, but he had this obsession with music from the 50s when he did the song, and so he was playing around with this sound when he did this song and also Jack You Off on the Controversy album. And so I thought it was really cool that he was toying around with different styles of music and sounds of music. And that was, that's something that I think is very key in his progression as a musician anyway. Because if you think about, like, there are parts of his career where it was like all jazz, like in the early 2000s when he did the Rainbow Children album. It was really jazzy because he was playing around with the jazz band kind of feel, bit band sound. Like even songs on some of Hit and Run had some bit band type sounds to them too. And I'll also say, even before he passed, the Third Eye Girl, their sound was all rock. It was like classic rock to me. And so I really feel like there are phases in his career where he was shifting and changing his sound and the way he looked and the way he dressed and the way he performed based on what he was going for at the time or what he was into at the time, if that makes sense, even if it was for a short period of time. But I found it really interesting that he did that with this particular track. And the B-side for this track is Horny Toad. I thought that was pretty cool too, because I've heard that song. That song is a trip. It was on the Hits album, the B-sides, if you're looking for it. The other thing that I found interesting about this song is that it also appeared in the 1983 Cheech and Chong movie called Still Smoking. And there is a sound effect of a happy baby at the end of the track that was sampled by Baby Love in 1986 by Regina, and Are You That Somebody by Leah in 1998. And the actual song Delirious was sampled in a song called Girl Talk on the 2010 album All Day. And it's at the 425 mark, if you're looking for it, where it actually comes in and start playing Delirious. And so I just wanted to share that with you because I thought that this was pretty cool. And it is one of those songs that you don't know you love it until you love it. It's like, it's one of those songs that kind of grow on you. At first you might be like, this is, you just like, what is this? What was he thinking when he did this one? But it actually starts to grow on you. And it's just like one of those fun songs that it kind of reminds me of Caddyshack. Some of those earlier movies from the 80s, like National Lampoon's Vacation. The music reminds me of some of those tracks from that era. And I think I said this before, but even on the National Lampoon's Vacation, it's either Vacation or the European Vacation. One of those movies have a Vanity Six track in it. And, I just love Prince. And so to find like little gems like this, it just means something to me. Like I will always start to I will always look for little things that that I could talk about that I didn't even think of before, I didn't even know before. And so I was happy to find that Delirious actually had Delirious in it in the opening credits of the movie, which makes sense because it is the title track. And it was just really cool that the whole song was basically played at the beginning of the movie. So guys, I want to say thank you for joining me. If you voted for me for this year's Baltimore Sun Best 2023 Readers Choice contest, I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. It is an honor to be your best author, an award-winning author now. You have validated me and confirmed me as an author, and that the work that I do to you has value, and I will continue to produce valuable works of art in my writing, through my writing, going forward as such. And so with that being said, I want to say peace, love, and blessings to you. And may the things that you do this week bring someone else as well as yourself value. And may you inspire someone, if not many, along the way. Motivate, aspire, inspire, my friends. Peace and blessings. Peace.
Hi guys, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Purple Charm Experience. I hope you enjoyed it, but in the meantime, in between time, I hope that you will also take a moment to check out my website, www.creativecalfuray.com, where you can find more information about me, my books, my merchandise, and more. Also, while you're there, I hope you will sign up for my newsletter by subscribing. If you also want to receive exclusive content and merchandise that pertains to this podcast, please sign up for my Patreon page by becoming a member. And finally, if you really enjoy listening to this podcast, please consider sharing with your friends and family. I appreciate it, and they deserve to get this great information too. So, until we meet again, I'll see you next time. Bye.